Hustle is a Netflix movie with Adam Sandler, except this one is actually good. From director Jeremiah Zagar and writers Will Fetters, who did A Star is Born, and Taylor Matern, who wrote a couple NBA video games. I didn't say anything about what the director did because I don't know what any of them are. If any of these sound familiar, this is from the same director. So, Sandler plays a disgraced basketball talent scout who finds a promising talent from Spain and views him as an opportunity to repair his own career as well as a great addition to the NBA. This story doesn't do anything new with the sports movie genre. It's about a couple underdogs, each with their own demons, who climb the ranks of professional basketball, and yes, there is indeed an extended training montage. But it's the way that it goes about the story that makes it good. This is more of a comedy drama rather than the silly comedies Sandler's become known for, and it's an interesting one with likable characters. Sandler gives one of his better performances. Basically feels like a more serious take on his good guy personas in his comedies, and I mean that in the best way possible, meaning he's likable and cracking jokes, but not so much that it becomes overbearing and balanced with emotion in the more serious, dramatic parts. This is a great showcase for the uncut gems Adam Sandler. The Adam Sandler who gives great dramatic performances in movies that critics actually like. The fact that this one also had basketball as a big part of it and featured heavy cameos from players had no impact on this comparison. But that's not to take away from the rest of the cast, including Queen Latifah and Juancho Hernan Gomez as the basketball player. It's not revolutionary, but it doesn't really need to be. It's a good sports movie where Sandler steals the show. Yet another addition to the Adam Sandler is Still Good Actually collection. Yes, Prey is exactly like this.
And now for our feature presentation.
Prey, the new addition to the Predator franchise, is now streaming on Hulu. In the weeks before seeing it and making this video, I was ready to say that it's not going to theaters because Disney hates us all, but now I realize that there are worse things a company can do to a major franchise film. Still a weird decision though, for the prequel to one of the most beloved action horror films ever. Disney, the one time you decide not to focus on cynical franchise film, you still manage to be an asshole. Whatever, you decide to put this great film on streaming, I'll just have to see the 50th version of Black Widow in theaters. Anyway, it's from Dan Trachtenberg, director of 10 Cloverfield Lane. He also wrote it along with Patrick Azon, a writer for Wayward Pines and Tom Clancy's Jack Ryan. This is a prequel showing one of Predator's earlier hunts, going back so far as pre-colonial times with Native Americans. This change in setting is a brilliant addition. Makes the movie feel completely different from its predecessors in the best way possible. Don't get me wrong, the plot and action are still the same as what made people fall in love with the franchise in the first place, but the setting now makes it feel particularly fresh. There's even a version dubbed into Comanche for authenticity's sake. This movie is also a major win for Native American representation. Disney. I've heard people saying that it's the best of the Predator sequels. I admit I haven't seen a lot of them. I just recently needed a refresher of the first Predator. I saw The Predator recently. I remember I had a lot of fun when I saw it, but when I made the video for it, my opinion of it dropped heavily, and now a couple years after, I don't know how I feel about it. And I'm guessing Alien vs. Predator probably doesn't hold up. But either way, this is still good enough that I fully buy that it's the best sequel. It's even better than The Predator or that masterpiece AVP. Honestly, I'd say it's almost as good as the original. No, it doesn't have the subversion of 80s action movie heroes getting slaughtered, but it more than makes up for it with tension and action. It has enough spectacle that it deserves to be seen on the big screen. Disney. And the lead, Amber Midthunder from the show Legion, is a good heroine. She's basically the Schwarzenegger character of this one, who needs to find a way to kill the Predator somehow using only her wits. And she's a likable, resourceful badass. Much like 10 Cloverfield Lane, it's a franchise film that was elevated to something more. It has everything you could ever want in a Predator movie. Action, blood, horror, and the Predator fully in his element. It feels simultaneously different and familiar, both in good ways. Truly deserves better than a streaming-only release. You know, back then, people weren't able to join my Patreon. Now you can, link in the description.